That's okay. If you guys need to take calls or texts, I totally understand. So. You will not be sharing this, except to each other, not in class, so. Couple more minutes. If you don't finish it right now, it's totally fine. Okay, so stop where you are, and what I would like, how many of you saw some questions on here that maybe you hadn't thought about to talk about with each other yet? Okay, good. Well, that's what I want. So what I'm looking for is when you guys go home, either on the drive or tonight or sometime between now and the next class, is to talk about some of these things. Because Lindsay can have a totally different idea of her ideal birth than Dan would. Dan might want his mother in there and, you know, fully medicated and not to see Lindsay in pain at all. And she might have a totally different idea about that, right? So that is this is to get the conversation going. And what I'd like you to do is start talking about this with your partner. Because we might not even be on the same page as far as pain management. Like Dad might be saying, "Are you kidding me? You don't want an epidural? I didn't know that." So you start talking about that. Or you do? That doesn't seem like you. That's okay. So you start talking about that. And that's getting the conversation going. Now on the other side, flip it over. I'd like you to fill this out a little bit right now for the next 2 minutes. And that is, again, it takes the conversation a little further. Now, again, this is personal and private, and I don't want you to think that by writing something down, you're going to manifest anything to happen, okay? So if you have a deep fear, it's okay to put it on there, or at least to talk about, okay? So that is something that you guys have brought up, because I'll tell you why in a second. Go ahead and write it down, then I'll tell you why after. One more minute. So, fear is the crusher of productive birth, okay? And so what happens when you're afraid? And we all are going into labor afraid. Dads, moms, everybody, doulas sometimes. What happens is your body, and Alethea will go more into this, it's really, really kind of cool. We are programmed to give birth in a safe place, okay? If you think of a prey animal, a deer, some animal that's a prey animal, what will happen is they will find the most safe, careful, planned out spot that they can to give birth. That is safe, that they're not going to get challenged by another beast. And if they are in labor, and they're feeling safe, their labor will progress and it will move in the right direction. Thank you. If not, and they feel threatened in any way, what happens is their body physically shuts down and labor stops until they can move and feel safe. So we as humans need to find the safest way that we can approach labor, and so that women feel safe. So you have to feel safe with your doctor, the nursing staff, the doula if you choose one, the people in the room, and knowing that all is okay and that all is going to be okay. Because if not, and you're stuck on one of those fears, you will close up. And things will not progress. So then what happens is they will make it progress, artificially with Pitocin, and then so you're going down this. So you have to really be upfront about what those fears are, and be aware of what your fears are. And dads, you're bringing energy into the room as well, so you need to be very aware of what you're bringing into the room. Also, I am afraid to take home this child. I am afraid to hold it for the first time. Oh, she wants me to cut the cord? I don't want to cut the cord. I am afraid of doing that. You need to be aware and articulate what those fears are, because that is the crusher of a productive labor, okay? So that's why we talk about the fears. So again, when you're on your way home, talk about this a little bit and see how that conversation goes, okay? Because you both, I'm sure, have fears. My fear, and I can name it now because my kids were all born healthy, but was something would happen to one of my children during childbirth. Okay, and that's really hard. I also, my mother-in-law has a really, it's terrible. I'm just opening it up here. Really terrible, huge birthmark on her neck, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what if there's a big birthmark on my child's face? How am I gonna embrace this? It was really shallow, but it was a fear. Obviously I got over it, but And, you know, I had to sort of articulate that because, you know, keep things tucked in. If you can't really loosen up, let everything out. So, in the meantime, between now and your due date, sooner, later, some laters, you're probably not super later, even though you're May, let's say. Who are my laters? Your later? Yeah. But I want you guys to do some practice. I want you to plan on doing a lot of tailor sitting, which is sitting like this, because, and these are, the drawings that are on the back are all very elegantly drawn from this curriculum that I got that I really love. But, so, anytime you're watching TV or reading a book or just plain old sitting, I'd like you to try to sit like this. And can anyone tell me why this would be a good seating position to get us ready for labor? Open up the hips. Right. Here's the deal. You don't want this to be the first time these inner ligaments are feeling this position.